me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, gotta feel the tension. In my thoughts.
Welcome back, everybody. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that comment down below. Today we're going to be discussing, or we're going to be going deeper into the Dolphins win yesterday. It was incredible, historic game, historic everything. Every single player played well, except for a couple people, which, you know, there's some things that I need to talk about later on in this video. But it was just an incredible win, historic win. Love that we didn't go for the 3 points to just completely embarrass Sean Payton. Even though it's kind of funny, but Sean Payton was one of the guys that was saying Tua is not going to make it in this league. He was going to be beaten out to the starting quarterback by Teddy Bridgewater, so kind of a little malicious, but God loves everyone, you know what I'm saying? And we are God-like, so, you know, we don't choose vengeance against a person like that. We just allow them to have the vengeance against them in God's will. But Tua Tagovailoa, we'll go over the offense right now. 23 for 26, 88 completion percentage, 4 touchdowns. And it's a weird stat, but last year he has, at this time, we had 3 wins, 0 losses. I think it was 72 completions for 101, or 72 completions out of the 101 passes thrown. And the same quarterback rating he had last year, which is weird. Or the same touchdowns, I think it's like 8-2, which is weird. It's like the same exact stats that he had last year. But we're going to finish this year. We're going to finish strong. That's going to be the difference this year. We'll talk about Tua right now. And just the mere fact that Tua is playing at such a high level. Now, I think the difference between last year and this year is, I think, the calmness that Tua has when he's playing out there. Last year, it felt, you know, we had the Patriots game in the beginning. The Patriots always give us a tough battle. But he looked a little frantic in the first couple games last year. Even in the Baltimore game, the first half wasn't really that great. It was okay. You know, he threw a couple interceptions, and then later on he came back. But he didn't look like this last year. This year, Tua just looks so comfortable in this offense. He looks so just flowing whenever he's in the game. He knows when to get rid of the ball. The offensive line is playing significantly better than last year. Significantly, which we'll talk about that. But he's just playing with an ease that he has never really played with in the NFL. You know, that Alabama ease. And even in Alabama, you know, he still would take, everything has kind of come together for Tua. He's not taking hits. He knows when to get rid of the ball. He knows when to get away from defenders. He's not, you know, he's understanding the game. It's just clearly night and day from last year to this year. He's understanding the game. He understands his offense. He understands a lot of things about this team. And it just looks so much better in this year versus last year. So Tua is doing fantastic. Now the running game, that's the next thing we're going to get into. Devon Achane and Raheem Mostert, and even Chris Brooks. First off, I think what we showcase this game and last game, you know, I think we showcase that we don't need another running back. Let's keep that second round pick. Let's get a linebacker in this coming draft, because there's going to be a bunch of them coming out. Linebacker or something along those lines. Maybe another defensive lineman. You know, one of the options, or even an offensive lineman. You can even get that. There's going to be so many players coming out in this draft. Let's save that pick. We don't need Jonathan Taylor. He's injured as well. These two showed that they can carry the load. And the thing is Chris Brooks was playing against the starting lineup, and he still was rushing amazing. So what we can kind of consider is that even Chris Brooks can play, and then we get Jeff Wilson back. Our running back room is solid. Devon Achane, if he plays like that every week, obviously he's not going to get 200 yards and 4 touchdowns every single week, but if it's somewhat like that, you know, that's exactly what we got him for, that home run hitter, we are fine. You know, our running back room looks solid. I think that's the biggest. You know, we'll bypass that. You know, everyone's going to be praising the running backs. I want to praise the offensive line this year. First off, I want to praise Austin Jackson. He's a similar story to Tua. Was drafted with Tua, had the same coaching woes with Tua, and overcame them. And he's probably becoming one of the better offensive linemen on this line. You know, I mean, you have Robert Hunt, who's playing incredible. I wouldn't put Teron Armstead there because he's just been injured the whole year. But he played great. When Teron Armstead was in, it's like, yeah, Tua has all the time in the world. Isaiah Wynn's playing great. Connor Williams is only the only weak spot that we have on this line. But we have to give props to them, man. You know, we need to get the snapping right. We need to make sure that we're not snapping the ball over to his head. I want to see what happens with Connor Williams. But I just, you know, we have to give props to this offensive line. This offensive line is playing out of their mind right now, you know, and these are not, you know, teams that we can say the records, but the defensive line that they're playing against and some of the defensive minds that they are playing against, you know, Rob Staley is a defensive coach. Bill Belichick is a defensive coach. Sean Payton is a defensive coach. All these guys are defensive coaches, and our offensive line is playing great against all of these. And they're no slouches. They have a lot of pass rushers. We are just playing really good against them. So we have to give props to the offensive line. They're playing amazing. You know, and Austin Jackson, you know, Robert Hunt, even Connor Williams, you know, even though he should have been in training camp, shouldn't have been asking for this stupid contract because he's clearly not playing up to that contract. Isaiah Wynn came out of nowhere. And then, you know, now we have Teron Armstead back. This offensive line is playing like a top 10 offensive line. And Butch Berry, we have to really give props to him too. Everybody was talking crap when he first got him, and he's turned this offensive line around. If you look, I think I even had a video when we got him. You have to look at the actual play of the offensive line, and it was good when he was in the Broncos. It's just he had some crybabies that were on that team. But yeah, the offensive line is playing amazing. The receivers, Tyreek Hill, we didn't even have Jalen Waddle in. So now next week we have Jalen Waddle most likely. It's just going to take a step forward. You know, Devon Achane is going to get way more snaps. I think after this game, he's going to get significantly more snaps. I think this was the game that we needed to see what he could do, and we saw what he can do. You know what I'm saying? And then even the receivers, man. The receivers are playing great. Braxton Berrios is playing great. We'll see. They haven't really given an update on River Craycraft, but we'll see what happens. Chosen might get some more snaps. But our receiver core is fantastic. And like I said, we didn't even have Jalen Waddle. The defense, that's the only thing that, you know, is a little shaky. You know, I thought Vic Fangio, he's going to need more time. I think we all need to understand he's going to need more time to mold this defense. But Javon Holland, that's the last thing that we'll talk about today is Javon Holland and this defense. But Javon Holland's leading the way, man. I mean, Javon Holland's having an incredible year. And we all knew it. You know, we all knew he was going to have that. He's leading our team in tackles. The guy is just a stud. And he hits hard, forced fumbles, all of it. The guy is just a stud. And he's becoming the guy that we all thought he could. And Kader Kohou, I think, is playing phenomenal. Kader Kohou is going to be a gem on our team. And then we have Cam Smith and Jalen Ramsey that are just sitting there. You know, Jalen Ramsey's going to come back. The only thing that I'm worried about is this defensive line. I don't see the pass rush that we need. But I think that'll come over time. But, yeah, man, I mean, the defense just needs to step up a little bit. But they have been. You know, it's like we can't really say that because, honestly, they only scored 13 points against us. They had a kick return, but they only scored 13 points against us. If you're forcing force fumbles, that's still a defensive stand. Yeah, I need to see more pass rush from the defensive line. That's the only thing that's killing me. You know, Jalen Phillips needs to get there. Chubb needs to get there. Someone needs to get there. You know, we can't need to send blitzes in order to get to the quarterback because that's been our problem. We just don't have a pass rush, and that's the only thing that's making me queasy. But all in all, I mean, what an incredible win. It's still crazy, you know, 70 points, like it was like a Madden game. crazy, just crazy. But what a team win. And I think what we can kind of sum this all up to, I think we all felt it when we got McDANIEL. And I think most of the Tua people, the ones that enjoyed Tua, we all kind of knew that he was something. We just needed to see him molded. Now, we got the coach. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't think there's a 2-year window. It's as long as Mike McDaniel's coaching this team and Tua is the quarterback and Chris Greer is the GM, we're going to have a squad for a while. Chris Greer has put together there's rebuilds and then there's this. Chris Greer has put together such a ridiculous team that I just don't even know what to say. In the span of time that he did, he broke it down 4 years ago. Usually teams don't come like this, where the offense is like this after 4 years. It's incredible. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what you think about this, this win. Tell me your feelings. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Tell me everything, man. But as always, hope you have a great rest of your day. Fins up, baby. Peace.